22nd, 2013, along with the following, all in respect to 2014 transit improvements. And I know that we have one speaker. If that gentleman would go to the podium and identify himself, and you have 5 minutes, sir.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Patrick Fairbairn. I'm almost a 4-year resident of Prince Albert. The reason I'm here tonight is to reinstate my concerns I set up. I was here almost 2 years ago. And my concerns at that time were noted previously by 2 letters, one to the City Council, and a second follow-up letter from my counselor, Charlene Miller, who had it distributed to everybody. Anyway, since that time, that first letter, not much has happened. We've heard lots of talk about what might happen or what could happen, but nothing really has happened to address some of these concerns. And I've had a lot of people approach me and say, hey, this isn't working, let's get something going. So the idea of the petition came up, and I said I'd take it on. The petition basically focuses on 3 items. Heat on the buses, because this last winter has been just terrible for heat, lack of heat on the buses. Not only have the riders been cold, the bus drivers are freezing their little tails off too. And just isn't good. And to the contrary, we've heard from certain people from the transit company that, oh, the meters are working fine, and it's just a matter of the doors opening too many times, and it's not really a major concern at all. Well, that's not the case. I ride this bus every day almost, because I'm legally blind. I don't have the luxury or the privilege of having my own vehicle. Even I wish I did. Anyway, so that's the bottom line as far as heat is concerned. We understand that the, Mother Nature does not have our best interests at hand, so we have to deal with it. Having said that, the transit system that's being delivered to us for $1.3 million, I understand, and the majority of that take transit are taxpayers. So therefore, we are contributing to that $1.3 million in some way, shape, or form. And we're not satisfied with the service. That's the bottom line. And what we need to do as far as we're concerned is address not only the heat issue, but the extension of hours. Now, there's been a lot of talk about that. There's been some very negative comments made in the local newspaper, which I find very disrespectful and showing a lack of true leadership. If we Prince Albert residents that have to rely on transit cannot use it to get back and forth from work, we use it at a time where we may want to take our families out to go enjoy a nice time out in the park or go to a new leisure center that everybody's talking about. Or just go for a nice walk along the riverbank, and then we look at our watch and say, holy crap, it's 4:45. Bus leaves at 5 o'clock. We got no way to get home. I'll take a cab, that's not a problem, right? Well, it becomes a problem for a lot of us. And to be very frank with these people here, we deserve better. We are taxpayers. We do contribute, as I said before. This idea where it doesn't count, or it's not important, or it's not really a priority, that kind of attitude has been going on for far too long. The previous city council did the same thing. They basically ignored our concerns. And also for $1.3 million, I'd like to see more bang for my buck. Why can we not get creative? Why can we not sit down and work together? Why can we not ask people from the community to come forth with some ideas? Maybe fundraising would be one. We could help fundraise to help offset some of the costs. But back to the main point, since people aren't able to get to work and back without having to pay cab. I've done it myself numerous times. It's cost me $24 round trip because there's no darn bus running. Now, having said that, I'm not saying we need to have a bus 24 hours a day. Why not just run buses when people can really use it and utilize it? In the mornings, in the evenings, going to work, coming back from work. Maybe to lay off a little bit during the day. The buses don't run full capacity all the time. I spent many years in Alberta, living in Edmonton and area. Buses there don't run full capacity all the time either. The idea is to assess the need, in our view, to assess the need, look at the cost, how can we present the service to the people that need it, and what can we do to improve it, not only for now, but in the future. We talk about the city being a progressive, growing city. Come one, come all to our beautiful city. But, oh, we forgot to mention one little thing. Our transit service is pretty bad. I call it dysfunctional, to be very honest with you. Now, I'm not here to beat on people or anything else. I'm here to try to find a win-win situation for everyone. It's time to get creative. It's time to get down and roll up our sleeves. It's time to have the right positive, progressive attitudes. We all live in this nice city. I like PA. Believe me, it's a big change from Edmonton. A million people plus in good old Edmonton. People won't even talk to you in Edmonton. You say hello, they go, well, what's that? Here they say, hi, well, hi, how are you? Oh, good, you? Good. Off to work, yeah, if I get a bus. No, seriously, folks, it's not working. And it hasn't been working for a long time. So I'm not here to blame this particular city council. I'm not here to blame anybody. I'm just here to, again, try to find a win-win situation. We work together, we come up with ideas, and by the way, there have been some really good recommendations from Terry Sexsmith. I have had the pleasure to read some of the report. It would take me a whole year to read the whole thing, because I have to scan everything. But let's take the best out of that report. Let's sit down and let's work with it. And we're not expecting all these things, you know, these concerns and these ideas to be solved in 24 hours. But look at Moose Jaw. There's a fine example. They have a population base that apparently is only 2,000 people under our population base. They run and they own their own transportation system. Didn't happen overnight, but apparently they've been running their own transit system of some shape or form since 1950. Why can't PA do that? That's what I'm asking. Why can't we do it? Why can't we step up as a community and work on that?
Okay, I'm gonna have to cut in and give you 2 extra minutes.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know. I gotta watch my cat meeting. I just like to
No
thank
problem,
you.
but our light isn't working on the podium either.
Oh, can read it anyway.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much,
No,
everybody.
in case we have some questions, can you just wait 1 minute? In case we have
Sure.
some
No, I'm not
questions.
gonna go anywhere.
Okay, yeah, yeah, the last bus has already left.
You got it.
So we got you for a while.
Well, not, never mind.
I'm gonna
I
start,
won't go there.
okay, I'll start the questions.
Go right
and I'll
ahead.
see if council, because I'm the bolder one of council. You've touched on every subject, but an important one to us.
Okay.
You haven't mentioned fees. It's
That's
been-
not my point here.
No, I know, but
Somebody else
to,
might be mentioning that tonight.
to extend services in Carrie Sassnick's report, she's suggesting a 25-cent increase
I
in
agree with
fares.
that. Totally agree.
Okay, but some of us feel it should be 75 cents or $1. So I just want your comments on that while you're here, because I don't want you coming back with another letter
No, I'm not.
objecting to that we're agreeing to do the expansion of the service, but we're not prepared to increase the $1 million subsidy that we have on the bus system now, and that's part of the issue. So I'm not gonna hold you to it, or if you don't wanna comment on the fees, I won't hold it to you. But to me, 25 cents doesn't do it.
I'm here to work with you guys. Okay,
So do you have a comment on fees or no?
if you give me a minute, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. It costs money. I'm fully aware of that. And I have no problem, and the people I've been speaking with have no problem with a fare increase. In fact, 25 cents, what can you get for 25 cents today?
Well, that's
Fresh
right.
air. So, let's take a look at maybe a little higher. We're also having the idea of taking a look at if we can extend services doing on an experimental basis.
Yes.
You know, we're not saying Monday to Friday, let's have it tomorrow. Why not go Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Or Friday, Saturday? Just try something else. Allow the general public, the people that use the transit, to step up to the plate.
And track it, and if they're not using it, then withdraw. Okay, any questions for council? Councilor Miller?
Yes, thank you for coming, Patrick, and actually, there's somebody else who was registered to speak, Patricia Laplante, and she is here in the audience. So if we can hear from her also, would be good. Thanks.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you for having me.
Do you want to go to the podium, please?
Give me a minute, I fell today, so I'm not moving too quickly.
No problem. Well, that's the problem with the deep cold. It's really slippery outside.
I didn't fall outside, unfortunately.
Oh, well, I was trying to help you out.
I know. Well, if I would have, then I would be after the person that had this ice on the sidewalk.
Okay, you didn't fall on the bus either. I'm glad.
No, I did not. Not today.
Okay, you go ahead then, please.
Hi, I'm Patricia Laplante.
Hi, Patricia.
I wrote this letter to address some concerns with the bus service of Prince Albert and give my feedback on a recent report on the transit improvements of 2014. As you'll note in my letter dated March 5th, 2013, paragraph 5, I was very concerned about snow conditions at some bus stops. This matter has not been addressed in any way since I brought it to City Council's attention on 2 occasions, an email and a letter, which I presented at City Council. So far, no reply from my councillor, which we have talked on the phone on Sunday, and he apologized. Thank you very much for that, Mark, again. Nor Carrie Sexsmith, and she knows full well that I am interested in anything that goes on with the bus services. Are we going to wait till somebody gets hurt trying to get on and off the bus? When are we going to get the snow cleared? My husband goes out and clears the snow for me to get on and off the bus, because nobody else will. Our landlord won't, and the city won't. And I'm not saying that there's just my bus stop, there's other bus stops in the city. In my letter, you'll see I took a bus ride home one night, which I don't do often. I do more in the morning, I take the bus. And half the bus stops were not cleared. 2 of them, you had to stand out on the road. And you know, 2nd Avenue and 9th Avenue are very busy avenues. I don't want to stand out there. I don't want to get hit. I have also mentioned that I tried to get a hold of a copy of the report and was told to go on the City Council website for it. Well, I now officially have no access to internet. I was told at work the computers are for business only, which is proper, which I only go on my time off, not their time. And then I got a comment here, should I go to the library's computer? Darn, there's no bus after 7 o'clock. And I'm not walking home in this weather, sorry.
No, so computer isn't the answer.
No,
Taking notes,
I need
Mr.
internet.
I like your presentation. Continue on.
Thank you. The recommendation of Saturday service extended hours is something I've been supporting for quite some time. It would be more convenient to get back and forth to work, not only for me, but others too. I mean, I don't know what business ends at 5 o'clock every day, or 5:30 every day on a Saturday. Most businesses go to 6 o'clock. There's no bus. So therefore, we got to pay for a cab. Now, I am low income. I make minimum wage. I can't afford a cab. The recommendation of extended hours on Thursday is also something I support. See, I like to go shopping once in a while. And yes, I do have access to a vehicle, but I don't drive. My husband does. And somebody can attest in this room that it's very hard to get him to drive me anywhere at times. Okay, again, the snow removal on my letter. Yeah, that is very important. When I read that report, there was a recommendation to extend the West Hill route. Well, I think that still needs a little bit of work. Because why the heck are we doubling up the buses going the same way? And you get two buses trying to get on, turn that corner on 28th Street onto Central. Good luck, they're going to get downtown on time. I also agree with a fare increase. 25 cents would have been nice, but 50, 75 is pushing it a little. But you know
Well,
what?
we get there.
I know that it does cost money, and I realize that. 75 cents, I'll go for it. I also read an article in the newspaper recently, and again, I was talking, people didn't realize that I had forgotten that I had come here before. So again, I got the apology. And yes, Mr. Mayor, I understand you've been seeing buses going by with one or two people in there. Okay, totally understand that. Not everybody will ride the bus all day long. I'm willing to cut bus service out for 3 hours in the afternoon, before lunch, after lunch, if that works.
Yeah.
Because you have to do 3 hours, because by law, employers have to pay you 3 hours if you work even 15 minutes. I'll go for that. But don't forget, I see a lot of city vehicles floating around this city driving with one person in it. I also see a lot of private vehicles driving around with one person in it. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention about the survey there, that when I got the copy, I read that 416 people in the city, a population of 35,000, participated in the survey. That's 1.18% of Prince Albert. 58.17% of those people that did the survey don't even have anything to do with the buses. So what was the point of the survey? I know you need more ridership. I know you need more people to use the bus, but if maybe the hours are worked out that people could, they would. I'm willing to experiment. I'd love Saturdays to be extended. Oh, I'm sorry.
No coaching.
I'm going to my recommendations now. The one thing that really bugged me in that report, besides the 4 new buses, which, come on now, $8,000 for seat covers. Honest. Who's going to clean them? Who's going to fix them? It's not feasible. Not in my eyes. And another thing I would very strongly recommend to the city council is please start up the transportation committee again. I have Wednesdays off. Mornings or afternoons is fine with me. So is my co-helper here, worker, whatever you want to call him.
We're just low-life citizens.
No, I'm not low-life, thank you.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm a taxpayer too.
Yeah.
But I think the transportation committee needs to be set up again. Because obviously our concerns aren't getting addressed. That report was wasted money, a lot of it, as far as I was concerned.
Okay.
Because it's unfeasible. Unless somebody can find the funding. Thank you.
So if I invite you, though, you'll come and meet with me.
You certainly can. I will see me at your office or wherever you like to meet.
Okay. Other than having picked up.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, thanks very much for coming.
You're welcome.
And thank you for answering my question too about services. And I support you too about the seat covers.
Thank you.